Looking here at the French-bred Champdinant and Julien Leparoux, who won his first Grade 1 race ever in his young career last summer in the Beverly D aboard Gorilla. Garrett Gomez and Red Giant, the Virginia Derby winner, one more. Renee Douglas and the Arlington Classic winner, Pleasant Strike, loads at 12-1. In the gate for the Secretariat Stakes. And they're off. Going Ballistic, going out toward the front, along with Fleeting Shadow. Admiral of the Fleet is there. Lattice in between horses. Pleasant Strike and Red Giant got squeezed there for a moment. Farther back, Love Dubai. The French-bred Champdinant, last but one. And Master Coley Mort trails as they come past the stands. And it's Pleasant Strike and Renee Douglas taking a keen hold of. And Pleasant Strike out to the front from Admiral of the Fleet. With Fleeting Shadow up and on this early gallop. With Lattice close in fourth. Then 2.5 lengths back to Red Giant as they enter the first turn. Going Ballistic is next, followed by Love Dubai, a ground-saving Champdinant, and finally Master Coley Mort. The opening quarter for Pleasant Strike, 24-4 on this good Arlington ground, and it's Pleasant Strike who leans, Fleeting Shadow by a length. Lattice in the blue cap is cut close. Mick Kinnan follows the trail up the rail with Admiral of the Fleet. A couple more to the Virginia Derby winner. Red Giant settled in fifth. Still 3.5 lengths back to Going Ballistic, a half length to Love Dubai. At the back remain Champdinant, and pulled off the rails, Master Coley Mort remains ninth and last. Half mile in 48-4 as they head to the half-mile pole in the Secretariat Stakes. Now Fleeting Shadow and Pat Smullen injecting more pace on Pleasant Strike, and the lead just tilts in Fleeting Shadow's favor. Pleasant Strike quick to counterattack. And Admiral of the Fleet right there, parked at the paint. Outside Admiral of the Fleet is Lattice. They're a joint third as they round the far turn. Red Giant has 5 lengths to pick up. Still 4 more lengths back to Champdinant. Going Ballistic being ridden with no gain. Master Coley Mort in a hard-ridden Love Dubai. At the quarter pole, Lattice up to the front. Red Giant coming 4 wide. Pleasant Strike in between horses. Fleeting Shadow now feeling the pinch. And Admiral of the Fleet up the rail. They're into the final furlong and a half. Red Giant leads. Red Giant in front by 2 to Champdinant. Pleasant Strike is dropped back. Going Ballistic between horses Lattice and Admiral of the Fleet, no extra. Red Giant and Champdinant close home. Red Giant and Champdinant. These two in a Secretariat photo. Julien Leparoux and Champdinant, the French-bred, to get and beat Red Giant, who was caught late. Going Ballistic third, and Admiral of the Fleet finished fourth. Chris, the time on this good turf was 2:04 flat.
And John Champdinant, the horse that Hank said never allowed to race in France again, comes to America and gets a big score running down Red Giant.
Who needs to run in France when you can ship to the United States and win a race like the Secretariat? What I was thinking right here, Jerry, as they were coming down the wire, the Europeans almost always finish so much more strongly than the Americans. Red Giant hung in there gamely, though.
He did, but usually on any turf that's less than firm, it's the last run that gets it. It's like the last inning in baseball, and certainly Champdinant was up to the task.
And he rebounds to his form in the French Derby when he finished third in that race, or Derby, I should say. In a very big field with a lot of traffic. There he is on the outside.
And you see Champdinant right there is cruising up as he turns for home. Julien Leparoux, I'm sure, has got a big smile on his face because he knows his horse is handling the ground first of all, and he's got plenty of power. He's only a length and a half behind Red Giant right there, and he's got an 1/8 of a mile to go. It might seem like Red Giant has everything in his own back pocket, but not the case on turf because the last run is the best run.
Meanwhile, Admiral of the Fleet carrying the ESPN announcing anchor, ABC announcing anchor, runs up.
Never a factor.
Never a factor.
And Champdinant wins for just the second time since his maiden win there, 2:04.02.